Hi everyone, my name is Jimmy Smith. I am a proud member of the Cathedral Prep class of 2011, and I have the pleasure of working here at Prep in our Advancement and Alumni Relations office. Welcome to episode number 107 of the Rambler Podcast, where we are passionate about sharing what makes Cathedral Prep the standard of excellence. We are excited to have Abby Corsale on with us as a guest. Abby is a 2024 Cathedral Prep graduate and is currently our summer intern here at the Cathedral Prep Advancement Office. She is entering her junior year at West Virginia University, where she is studying advertising and public relations and minoring in sports communication. During her 4 years at Villa Maria Academy / Cathedral Prep, she was on the varsity basketball team. She helped lead the Victors and Ramblers to an incredible 90-10 record. Throughout her career, the Villa and Prep girls basketball teams went undefeated at the Haggerty Family Event Center and never lost to a District 10 opponent. Along the way, Abby and her teammates captured 4 District 10 championships, made an Elite 8 appearance, reached the Final Four once, and finished as PIAA State Runner-Up twice. Abby was actively involved in her school community as a member of the National Honor Society and served for 3 years in Student Council, Rally Club, and the Outreach Club at Villa Maria Academy and at Cathedral Prep. Abby, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. This is fun. I mentioned you're our intern, so yeah.
It's fun to be on this side now.
That's what I was going to
see
say.
all the guests all summer come.
That's right. Yeah, you've been helping take the photos of the podcast guests. And it was just a few weeks ago I kind of knocked on your door over there and said, hey, what do you think about joining me as a guest?
Yeah, here I am.
But it's fun because your story is very unique in nature, that you had 2 years at Villa, 2 years at Prep. You were a part of the whole experience of transitioning to the new school.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I'm on the other side.
And now now you have this third perspective of working here at the school too this summer. Yeah. Which is a really neat opportunity as well. And it's been fun to get to know you and hear about, your stories and whatnot.
Oh, it's been fun being here.
Good. I'm glad you've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, somewhere I always like to start with our guests for the episodes is even starting to talk a little bit about like how you ended up, I guess in your case here, at Villa, and maybe talk about what that decision was like and why you ultimately decided to be a Victor.
Well, for me, it was pretty easy. Both my parents graduated from Villa and Prep. My brothers went to Prep and graduated, both my aunts. So it's kind of all I knew, and all I heard was good things the whole time. So it was pretty easy for me. They're all still friends with their high school friends. Like, my parents graduated in '87, and they still hang out with their high school friends. My brothers made such good friends, still friends with them all. So seeing the community, I knew that's always what I wanted. So I kind of knew all along that it was going to be Villa, but I never thought Prep.
Right, yeah, exactly. Never thought Prep,
No.
But that was just like a byproduct.
But it happened.
Yeah. And you didn't mention it, but I'm sure also basketball was a big part of that decision.
Yeah, I feel like we always just throw that to the side because we all just knew all of middle school that we were all going to go. So we kind of traveled in a pack.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us played travel basketball together, and then we kind of all ended up together all 4 years here.
Yeah. And obviously, we read in the bio, you guys had a great run during your 4 years.
Yeah.
Represented the event center well, held down the home court.
I know. We got the prime practice time every day there. So we had to do something good.
Yeah, that's right. You had to make it worth the while. Yeah. And I got to meet your dad a few weeks ago at the golf outing, which was fun.
No, definitely. Both my parents are still so active and Prep, I guess Villa too. My mom still goes to all the things the girls host for Villa. So that shows me how special it is to them. So it's just so cool now being here and even still working here and getting to see all the stuff that goes into the things they always attend because I'm still just only 2 years out. Yeah,
and we'll get into that in our discussion too because I'm going to be excited to hear about your perspective, working on this side of things because you just graduated a couple years ago. So it's oh my gosh, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes.
No, for sure. So much I never realized.
Mm-hmm. And so, going back to kind of talking about Villa, so ultimately that was where you were going to end up. You had 2 wonderful years there. What were some of your favorite memories that you are just going to always cherish and hold on to about your time at Villa?
I feel for us, my class, the class of 24, we had the perfect time because we had 2 years and 2 years. So it kind of gave us not too much at Prep, not too much at Villa. So we really got to experience both of it. And we were there for the announcement. So that was weird. But we had COVID freshman year. So I feel like we didn't even have the best like representation of Villa freshman year, but then we came back sophomore year, and those were some of my favorite memories. That's when like I like met so many new girls and made my like best friends. But it was funny because administration definitely was like usually around prep, so we could really do whatever sophomore year. So I feel like it made it even more fun over there.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Well, and that's a great perspective too. You know, being able to have the 2 years at Villa, 2 years at Prep, you really got to experience both schools pretty equally in that regard, other than the COVID, you know.
Yeah, but it was still, I mean, they were dealing with it everywhere. So it was still so much fun. But
and then, you know, you mentioned that you were there for the announcement too. Obviously, you signed up to go to Villa. You were a victor. And then all of a sudden, the like rugs pulled from underneath you in a sense. All of a sudden, like, oh my gosh, this is going to change. Can you tell me about how you felt personally about it, and as you talked with your friends, what that was like, and kind of maybe how things started to change from there?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I was definitely scared, but I was just a freshman, and my brother was a senior at Prep at that time, so I heard all 4 years of his how like rowdy the boys were. I was terrified. I thought like, because this is their building, I didn't know how they were going to transition to that too, so I was definitely scared. All I ever thought was like I was going to be with all girls all 4 years of high school, the whole Villa experience. So definitely scared, and I feel like everyone was so mad. I mean, my mom was a little mad at first, just
I'm
at
sure,
first.
yeah.
And so I feel like that was just how we all felt. Like it was kind of shocking too for us to like go back to school, and you know everyone was kind of talking in the halls and stuff. So definitely scared, probably a little mad, but it all worked out.
Yeah. I mean, that's you know, it's one thing for you know a kid that's in. You know, now the kids at Prep were in like 4th or 5th grade.
I know.
So for them, this is like just normal.
That's what we were saying. This class that just graduated, they had all 4 years at Prep. So like we didn't realize that. So like that's definitely different.
Yeah, there was like a core group of students who were a part of being at Villa or at Prep when the announcement was made. They go through that whole experience that has, you know, transpired the last 5 years. And you're one of those that you get to carry that forever.
I know, but I think once they said we'd be there for 2 years, I think that made at least my class like feel a little better. And the grade above us had 3 years there, so we were the only two that like went like through it while we were in high school when they made the announcement. So I feel like that helped because we knew we had some years there. So I feel like that also made it so much fun because we knew that was it. Like you had to have so much fun.
So you were a sophomore the year that the last Mary's Day when all the alumni came back to sing the song outside the building.
Yep. So that was cool. I know it was like such a big deal, but it was like so good because they all came. They made it like so special, but I feel like also it was nice because we still got to have our Mary's Day like inside, and then we came out and did all the fun things.
Yeah.
So
I was there for it. I remember.
You came?
Yeah, I was there. Yep, I was there. So that 21-22 school year, your sophomore year, is when I came to work in the advancement department. So I was a part of helping plan and organize things like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, special send-off, you know, for Villa and really make it special for all the alumni and the students the best we could. Yeah,
no, I thought it was really good. The day ended up being so nice too, and they were all, the alumni were all outside, so that was really nice.
And I know school administration, I wasn't as involved in it then, but really worked on committees with faculty and students to talk about what that transition to the new building would be like and the new school environment. When you came on campus then as a junior, what was it like for you now? So you were kind of initially scared and frightened about what it would be like. You walk in the halls first day, kind of what were your thoughts?
I feel like it was nice because I had all my friends with me, obviously, all the girls from Villa.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know anyone that left because of the merge. We all came together. So that was nice. So we all got to come in together. And I feel like, honestly, after not even an hour, like, it was like nothing happened. It was like home. Wow. The boys were so like welcoming, which I don't know if we like expected that or not, but they were so nice. And it was also so nice to have so much of the Villa, like administration came, guidance counselors, teachers. So there was so much of that like home aspect to it. It was just a new building, and it was cool because the building was new for the prep boys too, some of it. Like they never had the SLC and like all the third floor stuff. So it was new to everyone, so it was kind of everyone like going through the change. So
that's true.
It ended up being awesome, and it like I said, it didn't even take a day for like it to feel like home and it to feel like okay, this is fine. Like, we can do this for 2 years.
That's a good point, where if the building never had that, addition added on, renovations throughout it, it would have felt a lot different coming into school that first day.
Yeah, we always said, like, this is their building. We'd probably be mad if they walked into our villa, like, with our blue lockers and our, like, so it being different, like, they were just as amazed walking through the doors the first day, I remember, because they saw it halfway during the year before while it was getting built, but not to the extent it is now, and obviously it's awesome, so.
Yeah. And so you got to experience that with the boys as well, walking into this, And what I remember also is that all the, like, classrooms got renumbered, all the rooms were renumbered. So even the ones that were familiar to people, they were in different, locations in a sense.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and, like, the teachers switched classrooms. So it was all new, I feel like, for so many people. Even, like, their main office is brand new. Like, they never got to see that. And we had a villa, like, office lady in there and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was different for everyone, but I feel like that made it so much better. And, like, that's what I always say. Like, we did bring, like, things over. Like, all our teachers that, like, we see them in the hallway still.
Yep. Yeah, that's great. And it's cool to hear that it was for you, in a sense, to say, almost within the first hour, you felt, like, comfortable.
Yeah, no, definitely. And, like, people always said, like, I hope the Villa girls, like, don't lose, like, their voice or something. Like, you could have came in the first day and you would have been like, oh my gosh, the girls definitely didn't. Like, people were so worried about that. But even in the classroom, like, the girls were probably the people answering most of the time, both my years here. Like, I definitely don't think, like, that was a problem. And
yeah.
We got to all do it together, so that was cool. And, like, some of my, like, best friends whose moms also went to Villa, sisters went to Villa, like, they still say to this day, like, I wish we had 4 years at Prep. Like, that was so much fun. So things like that.
Yeah, that's really great to hear, and such a cool experience to be able to have those times.
Yeah.
Well, and it was funny because over the summer, it was early on within your first few weeks, I remember going up to you and asking, were you the student that was brought in for the coffee and conversations event?
Yeah.
And to fill the listeners in on what that was. So fall of 2022, we wanted to put on an event for Villa alumni to be invited to come into Prep, come in the SLC, and hear from our president, Kevin Smith, some of the administration, and some of the students.
Yes.
And I just, for whatever reason, remembered that you were one of the students, and I asked you that, and you're like, yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we wanted to always be very, inviting for especially Villa alumni, Prep alumni to come back, see the building, hear how things are going within those first few months. And so we hosted this event we called Coffee and Conversations, which was basically exactly what it sounds like. Come and have a cup of coffee. Let's talk through all the questions you have. And we had a pretty good turnout for that.
Yes.
But what do you remember about your experience as a student coming into that?
I remember, I didn't know much about it beforehand, but I remember definitely most of the alum that were there weren't girl parents or girl moms. So I feel like a lot of them were the ones that were, like, kind of pushing the change and a little upset about it and didn't feel like they saw, like, Villa
like
many
pushing
places.
away, like they weren't happy about it.
Yes, they were not happy about the merge. They didn't think Villa was, like, represented and stuff. So I think it was cool for the girls that came and talked at the Coffees and Conversation for the alumni to see, like, the three of us that talked, we still had our plaid Villa skirts on because our grade in class of 2023 got to finish all 4 years in our plaid Villa skirts, even here.
Yeah.
So, like, we had those, and then we got to also tell them the things that they were wondering about, like sports uniforms we brought up. So, like, we could have made our uniforms completely blue. They probably could have said Villa somewhere, doesn't matter how big or little it was, but they put all the athletes that were on teams, the juniors and seniors, in a room, no coach, no anybody in there. We just got to go in and play around on the website, and we designed our uniforms fully. Mm-hmm. So I know basketball uniforms came up, there's really no blue on them, but the five of us designed that. Like, we picked it. So it was cool to tell the alumni that they can blame us, but, like, we're also Villa girls. So it was kind of, like, nice to show them that really no one, like, threw those black and orange jerseys on us.
Yeah.
We picked the black, the white, just like most of the other sports did, and then put the CP on it and kept the orange.
And I think that's the best message to be able to provide alumni with, is to hear it's all about the kids at the end of the day. And, like, certain decisions were made, right, that are tough to hear about, what happened with Prep and Villa and all those different things. But at the end of the day, after those larger decisions were made, it really transitioned to, let's hear what the kids want. Let's hear the voices of the student athletes who are going to be wearing the jerseys and let them pick these things.
Exactly. I mean, we gave those to Bill Flanagan and our coaches. Like, they couldn't really say much more. I mean, that's always been the tradition, is for the juniors and the seniors to design them when new ones are getting ordered. So, I mean, what were they going to tell us? Like, no, you guys can't have these. Like, So that, like, I think that was nice to show the Villa alum, and also to, like, them to see that, like, staff came over and, like, we still have the teachers. And I remember someone at that event saying, like, I feel like the girls are losing their voice. And so it was cool to tell them, like, no, we designed this. Trust me, come up to a classroom. You'll hear the girls probably talk more and are way louder in the hallways than the boys. So it was cool to get that message across and show that, like, the students had so much of a voice, and especially just the Villa girls. Like, they really did let us pick a lot that year.
And those were a lot of the, hot topics that first year, was exactly what you're saying. We want to make sure the girls don't lose their voice. Obviously, that didn't happen. No. And then now, like, what I see in the school environment is all these things are just normal. Like, everything's integrated. There's no division of, like, boys, girls stuff. It's just one student body, and then boys and girls working together on certain functions and programs, all integrated as one.
Exactly. I think them giving, like, the Villa girls, when we came over that year, like, so much of a say, and realizing that we were fine. Like, we agreed with the boys agreed with us, we made the change, they put it, and, like, it became normal to everyone. So I feel like seeing that now, like, it's nice because it's made it a normal, and not everything is a big, like, debate or ordeal. So, like, it's cool, like, that way. And also seeing so many of, like, the parents that, like, went to Villa, like, the moms who have daughters here now, like, those are always, like, even at reunion weekend, like, the past, like, couple weekends ago, like, they're the moms that were telling people, like, no, like, the girls have really liked it. Like, so I feel like seeing it from, like, your kid's perspective or a family member's, like, that's helped a lot of people too.
I think so too. I was speaking of reunion weekend, so we had our picnic on Friday night. Saturday was for all the individual classes to do their events. I'm stopping at the prep class of 1966 gathering. Okay. There was, like, over 70 people there.
Oh, wow.
One of the women, who was one of the wives there, was talking about their granddaughter, is in 8th grade, was looking at another school or prep, came to the open house, and loves prep in that environment. And she said, it made me change my perspective. And I think she went to Villa. She was saying, just about how I view this whole transition and merger is, like, at the end of the day, it is about the kids, and to see her granddaughter excited about going to prep makes her excited even more about the opportunity she'll be able to get.
Yeah, that's, like, I mean, I said earlier, like, my mom was, like, her whole class was obviously just sad. I mean, that's your school, but she's one of the ones that always says now, like, seeing it, like, firsthand, like, you realize, like, how good it is, and so that helps.
Yep. And that's what we just want to continue doing, right? And now you're on the other side of helping that live on.
Yep.
Well, and speaking of designing basketball uniforms, kudos to you and your team through those years. You guys had an amazing run during your 4 years. A lot of achievements, a lot of things to be happy about. I guess when you reflect on your time on the court, what do you think are going to be the things that really stick to you? 10 years, 15 years down the road are going to be the things you remember most.
I feel like we'll remember, like, we won't always remember those numbers, but just, like, the teammates and, like, the bonds that we made, even with each other, everyone's families, like, the girls that I played with all 4 years or 3 years, like, I still talk to them, we still text. So I feel like it was more just the connections we made. Like, I'm still going to, like, the girls' graduation parties that we played with and texting them, like, congratulations, all that stuff. So just the bonds we made and how much we really became a family. But I feel like that reflects on, like, our record. Yeah.
And it's neat, too, with, being at a school like Prep and Villa, the legacy of what, especially sports, means at the school. I mean, you won't be here in the fall for the Athletic Hall of Fame, but obviously you appreciate what that means. And, like, Prep basketball 1978 is being inducted this fall.
Yes.
And all, like, 1978, and they're still going to be getting together, telling their stories on the court and doing all that.
No, for sure. That, like, it shows so much. And even the girls that would come back, like, when we were, like, in high school playing basketball, and just say, like, they still remember and they still talk to their teammates. So, like, just stuff like that's so cool. And I feel like you don't get that other places, because so many of, like, our friends that we, like, played travel basketball with, like, went to different high schools, and, like, they don't even, like, they're like, you guys still talk? I'm like, yeah, we still meet up, we go to coffee, we text, like, everything. So I feel like that's, like, so nice.
And it's funny, and it's like, how do you explain that to a 7th or 8th grader? Right?
I know.
It's like, how do you explain that to those kids? 'Cause I'm sure you would probably, if you could go back in time and tell those girls that went to other schools, by what they're going to miss out on.
Yeah.
But it's like when you're 12, 13, 14 years old, you don't really appreciate those things either.
No, 100% not. But I feel like that also, like, when they go to the youth camps in the summer and stuff, I feel like you can definitely see, because I was in their shoes once going to all the high school youth camps in the summer.
Yep.
It's just like basketball as an example. Like, I feel like going to them, you see how the girls that are in high school at that time interact and stuff. So I feel like that's a good thing, but you definitely can't explain it to them at that age.
Yes, right, exactly. It's like, all right, you know.
Yeah, they have bigger things in their mind at that point.
Yeah, like what they're doing Friday night.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Well, and it's been a lot of fun, like I said, having you in the office this summer, you know, working as our intern here. Your first day was senior breakfast way back in May, which feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But it was fun to have you there the first day, and you were able to catch up with some of your old teammates and whatnot that were still, you know, in the building.
I know, that made me feel like I shouldn't be like working here. Like, I should just be there, like one of them. Like, I feel like I was just here. I mean, those girls like were my friend. Like, they still are my friends, but now I'm like important.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, hey, you got a job to do. Come on, enough chit-chat
exactly.
there. Yeah. No, that's funny. And you know, you were immediately, obviously, senior breakfast you showed up for and were a part of, but the Mary's Day event with the alumni for the first year, you were a big part of helping with that. Reunion weekend, the golf outing, there's been a ton of different projects that you've been, you know, working with Gabrielle Catrabone here with and Patrice Swick. I guess, you know, I've been leading up to this question, but what has it been like for you to see the other side of the school now, just a few years after graduating?
Yeah, no, it's been really fun, but it's definitely, sometimes it's just like so weird, especially when the like students were still in school or not graduated.
Yeah.
Being able to walk around like they're in class or like they're going to the bathroom, and like I do, like I said, I still know a bunch of them, so that's definitely like a super like weird change. And like being in like meetings here and like referring to like the teachers who I just had 2 years ago with their first names and just stuff like that. I feel like it's just been like, that part's definitely been like weird, but because I feel like I like am too young to like be in this position.
Yeah.
Just because I was just here.
Yeah. Well, I remember the first couple of days you called me Mr. Smith.
Yes.
And I said Abby. I didn't even have you as a teacher. And I was like, you can just call me Jimmy.
I know. I feel like I was just here though. And like, especially being at the events like senior breakfast or baccalaureate, Mary's Day, things like that. Like, I feel like it was just yesterday, and it was like so cool to like think about, like, because that like month of school as a senior, I feel like you don't even remember it.
Yeah.
Even seeing them this year, I was like, oh my gosh, like seeing the calendar. But I feel like really just like sitting here and like watching like the Mary's Day ceremony and stuff like that, like it just makes me like remember like how special it really was, even for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. And it's amazing, you know, I've been here, this will be my 9th school year working for prep now, I know, which is crazy to think. And I've seen everything from stuff at the event center to over here at the advancement department. And it's special because we have our annual things that we do every year, like Mary's Day, baccalaureate. And it just reminds you of how special of a place this is and how connected we are as alumni to say we shared in those same types of traditions together, even though we may be separated by a decade or so in class years and or more for other people who may be listening. But it's part of that rich legacy that the school has that we can be a part of. I guess, all right, so what's something you've learned this summer that working with us, maybe not like specifically, you know, in the event space or, you know, whatnot, but something that goes into keeping a school like Cathedral Prep moving forward?
I feel like when I was a student here, there wasn't much thought behind how much work goes into it. I thought prep, everything was just perfect. Yeah, the events go on perfect.
Yep.
And like everyone was set up for this event perfectly. And like seeing how much work goes into it, even like in the summer, how much like there's still outreach, there's planning, there's like planning the calendar. I feel like that's definitely something I've learned is how much really goes into it behind the scenes.
Yeah. It's like you totally do not appreciate it as a student
Nope.
at all. You just
Nope.
assume, to your point, these things just happen.
Yeah, and it's always perfect. But
Yeah.
like, obviously, there's got to be a way. But seeing how much work really goes into it, I feel like even if I was never in this position and someone was like, yeah, well, a lot of work goes into it, I would never even assume to how much really, like, I've seen actually goes into it.
Yeah, and it is good perspective to have to see that, because it's really like, yes, there's great programs, great things that happen for our students and, you know, outreach and whatnot, but but it comes down to the people that are in the
Yes.
positions, like Veronica Seep and the
Yes.
great work that she does. Well, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to allow her to facilitate that as the principal.
Like, I don't even think when I was a student that I would think she was here all summer. And now I see her every single day here all summer, working, making
Yep.
calls, planning, all the things.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. People like her, it's like, it reminds me how thankful I am that we have great people in the school and
Yes.
administration doing the things they
Definitely.
do in their positions, because the kids are worth it to make those things happen.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Yep.
So before this internship, what maybe when you heard advancement office or Mr. Smith in the advancement office, what did you think we did? Is a one question, or even if you even really thought about that at all. And then how did your understanding of how our office works maybe change after your first couple months working with us?
Oh, it changed, definitely. I feel like I heard advancement, but I think I just tied the advancement office in with like enrollment and
Yeah.
like marketing, like the Instagram and stuff like that. So I feel like I really never like knew how much goes into it. I don't even think I realized there was this house here with you guys, your offices, how many of you there were in the advancement office. So that's definitely changed. And now I realize like event planning, like donors, alumni outreach, how much is in this office alone. But before this, I can't say I knew much about the advancement office as a student.
I'm cracking up that part of your answer was like, Instagram.
Yeah, like just the Instagram. I don't know. I thought they just ran it.
That's so funny. But yeah, it's kind of like, we're not integrated with the students. And as much as we try to be, it doesn't always have a place to fit within
Yes.
that. At senior breakfast, somebody from our office, usually me, tries to give a message to the kids, but it's like, it's 5 minutes, just kind of a quick introduction.
Yes.
And it's basically like, just at least stay connected with us.
Exactly.
And then you get to learn as you're an alum about the reunions and opportunities to support the school later on in life.
And I think
whatnot.
things like senior breakfast, like I know you guys came in, but like it's your senior breakfast.
Yep.
I don't even think my head was even thinking that. Like I knew Mary's Day was soon, baccalaureate graduation. So I think things like that probably like didn't help. But even like telling the kids, like they were like, "Why are you here, Abby?" I'm like, "Because I'm working with the advancement officer. What do you do?" Like I don't think a lot of them know, but I think it's definitely good, like how much advancement's been like going like and getting interactive with the kids.
And the other part I thought was hilarious was, and I just remembered this, and I wasn't planning on asking you this or bringing it up, but when I said I was your baccalaureate speaker, and
yes.
I said, "Do you even remember what I said?" You're like, "Sorry, but no."
Like, no. I really do think that last month of high school is like the biggest whirlwind ever, though.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that happen. And even, and I was joking about that, but even me, like I remember Chris Haggerty was our baccalaureate speaker, but I don't think I could tell you, because to your point, that month is full of so many different things. And I remember feeling really excited about prep and that I'm proud to be an alum, but any specific story I couldn't necessarily recall exactly from that. Yeah.
No, I remember I needed to get my pin and what side of my dress it was going to go on and everything, but not much else.
That's right. I won't take it to heart. It's okay.
If I went back and listened to it now, I would remember now.
Yeah, that's right. I'll send you the recording.
Yeah.
And that's funny. So the kids in the school who are probably graduated now, but that were asking you, well, what do you do like with the advancement office? And you've been able to help with communications, with donor outreach, alumni engagement, some of our special events that we've hosted. There's been day-to-day projects. So what areas have you felt been the most interesting to be involved in?
Definitely event planning was one big one, because I guess I didn't realize how much really went in it. But when you're hosting an event like 120 golfers or 400 people plus at reunion weekend, I mean, why did I think more work didn't go into it? But now I realize how much work really goes into it, and like how it makes sense. Like everyone works through the summer and plans it all year round. And then definitely alumni like outreach and stuff, like with sponsorships for golf and stuff. Just like how excited the alumni still are, even to answer a quick email like, "Here's my logo." Like they were so excited to tell me like congratulations on the internship because I introduced myself. Just stuff like that was so interesting, and like seeing how many of the sponsors for our golf outing like were alumni, like that's also like so cool.
Yeah, that is a really cool perspective, and how people were congratulating you on the internship and whatnot. It's neat because we're in such a great community, and you do have alumni from so many different generations and decades that they want to be connected and involved. It's not like you're a salesperson for some company bothering them with something.
Yes.
It's like people love this place and they want to stay connected.
Yeah, no, everyone's emails right back. Like I was asking for simple things or annoying things like, can you get this back to me, or like a logo or a program. Like everyone was so excited to get back to me, so excited to talk about prep. Like people were emailing back. Like they could have just sent their logo, but everyone was so happy and like excited. So
yeah, that's great. And shout out to Ron Onslow with Tongue Sweeper.
I know.
He was our title sponsor for the golf outing.
Yes, and he was awesome to work with.
I was going to say,
he made it so easy for me because I was so stressed at first when you said email the sponsors. I've never done that. So like people like him that made it so easy and were so like helpful almost to me, even though like I like was supposed to be helping them. They were helpful, and it was so cool to finally get to meet them all like at the golf outing and at reunion weekend, and how nice everyone was.
Yeah, it is fun when you start to put faces to the names behind the email addresses or the companies.
No,
and whatnot.
definitely. Like people I was like ordering from, or like we like talk about, and I got to see them. So that was so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a special community, you know, and I'm sure, to your point, you were a student, you saw your parents with that, but then when you start to get like integrated in the work here and you start to connect with sponsors and alumni, you probably like experience a deeper level of appreciation for what the alumni community means to you now.
No, definitely. I knew I was an alumni, like even myself, but like I'm only two years out, so I feel like I don't go to like the reunion weekends and stuff like that yet because like we just graduated, kind of just. But and seeing like how much it's still gonna, like I know it's always gonna be in my life, like after being at like those big events and seeing how like happy everyone was, and even like connecting with the alumni at the events, like how many of them were just so like first time meeting me were just so like happy to meet me and like offered if I needed anything, recommendations, just stuff like that, and like all just because I graduated from prep. Like I think that's things I just never realized until now, and like just being at the school, like I knew it was a big thing and big alumni like outreach and alumni network, but being at things like that and like getting to connect with alumni like that was like super cool.
And I think that's one of the things we always speak of so highly is the alumni network, but you only get a benefit of that to the amount you're willing to participate in it, right? Yes. Where if you're not going to come to reunion weekend or stay connected to prep at all after you graduate, well, it's going to be of no value to you or to us as a school to stay connected with you.
Exactly. And
versus, if you do stay connected and plugged in, you're going to have those opportunities to connect with others.
Exactly. And being so young, like we haven't, like my class hasn't like been in like back for any of those things. So I feel like that's something that definitely like, made me excited and like made me honestly like feel good, because I know if I ever like needed anything, like if all you have to say is prep. Like
right. They call it the secret handshake. Yeah. You say you went to Cathedral Prep, shake the hand. Magically you get the job offer.
So things like that was cool because I've always heard that, but then like seeing it firsthand with these like people that I've met that were awesome.
Yeah. When I was in Tampa back in March, I hosted an alumni reception there, and there was guys, a few friends from the class of either 2019 or 2020 who cornered a couple of the guys who were like classes of the 80s to ask them a bunch of questions about business and what they do. And it was so cool to see that just firsthand again, another reminder of that alumni network where decades apart from graduating from prep, similar bond in that they went to prep.
Yes.
And here they are like picking this guy's brain. And I heard at the end, he's like, here's my email address. Anytime you guys want to connect, please reach out. And like they met at that event there in Tampa, and now they'll be connected, you know, forever essentially.
No, yeah, exactly. That's how I felt here. I was like, wow, like I know like everyone's so nice, but like people saying like, reach out if you need this, reach out for a letter of recommendation, stuff like that. Just like goes to show like how like deep the connection like really is. So that was just so cool.
So in talking about that, I guess, what do you like? Why do you think alumni? Now this is a kind of a deep question, so take it how you want.
Yeah.
But why do you think alumni continue to stay connected and support prep after all these years? So whether it's, you know, we talked about Ron Onslow from class of '81 or anywhere in between of all these people you've met. Where do you think that comes from?
I think it's exactly what we said about like the basketball team. Like I couldn't explain it to like those kids. Like I can't even explain to girls from other schools like why like me and my basketball teammates were like so close. I think it just, I don't know. I don't want to say it just happens here and you can't explain it, but I think it's just the bonds you create here are so real. Like even with teachers and stuff. I think the bonds just happen. I think that's why people like want to stay so connected, and also coming back to the advancement office, like the advancement office like seriously cares about the alumni. Like I hear you guys talk all the time, like, oh my gosh, like we need to write them a card, or someone passed away, like flowers, like stuff like that. Like prep always shows everyone like they really do care. And I think that like starts with like the teachers, the coaches, the staff, like everything. Like the people here really do care, and I think that's where those bonds start. And then it makes like the students have like the bond, like even like seeing all the alumni like the past weekend, like how happy they are to see each other, like stuff like that. So I think that's really why they like keep coming back, because like so many people care about you here, but like it's so hard to explain if you like don't know.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and it's great to hear your answers to this conversation, because it's one thing for me to talk with an alum who graduated in 1990 to hear about how passionate they are about prep and that brotherhood, or an alum who graduated from Villa in 1982 and hear about her sisterhood. But it's like really energizing to me to hear about even somebody who just graduated in 2024 feels those same bonds and connections with their classmates, with the school, just like I felt in 2011. You know, it's just very special.
That's what like I think like it's like just still there, like, and it's so hard to explain to people, obviously. Yeah, it's like a secret club. Like even telling my friends at college, you're like, what? Like you guys go back to your school for a reunion? I'm like, it's so big. Like,
That is funny. Yeah, most cities around the country, it's not about what high school you went to.
Not
it's
at
what
all.
College.
Exactly. That's how all my friends at school are. Like they can't believe it. Even like how many of them don't have close bonds with like their high school friends. Like I'm like those are like my best friends.
Yeah, it's those similar connections and ties here that, again, like I love that word legacy of what it represents for prep. And obviously our magazine is Legacy Magazine. We have our Legacy Gala event. It's all those different things just kind of tie in so well with what that school, you know, means, what prep and the Villa traditions mean to our environment today. So have any conversations, we've been talking a lot about this, with alumni, or any of the donors even, change the way you think about your own experience as a student, like now that you look back on that?
Kind of what I said about reaching out to like golf sponsors, like for example, like them being so passionate and like wanting to email back and saying like they remember their time, or that's so crazy, like so many of them can't believe a girl graduated from prep.
That's like the first thing
that comes to all their mind. So many of them are just so excited to like say their year they graduated, or like just tell me stuff about it, even in an email. So I think things like that like changed, like showed me so much, and like that was like probably the main like thing, just showing me, because I was so young, and now like it's showing me like that's gonna be how like we think in a couple of years.
Yeah, it is so much fun to have those conversations with people. I remember my first couple of years working for prep back in 2017, 2018, and like you just start to like look at your experience at the school differently, because you're just like entrenched in the environment of like seeing it from this side of things, and then talking with alumni and donors about why they give to the school, and you just start to appreciate it so much more about the 4 years you spent walking the halls here. Or I guess 2 in your case.
Yeah, true.
Two and two, yeah.
So yeah, things like that, and like them showing me like, oh, that's gonna be me, and like I'm just still in college right now, so I feel like I don't think like that, but it shows me like that will be me, and I like know it will.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I just have one more question for you. All right, so it's again kind of like more looking ahead to the future a little bit, but like 20 years from now, all right?
Yes.
So I'm not even at that point for my graduation yet, but 20 years from now for you, when you're an alumna and you're looking back at your time at Villa and prep, and even this stint as an employee, you know, what are you hoping that when you look back at that, your connection to prep will look like 20 years from now? And secondly, what legacy do you hope that you'll help leave behind to students who come after you?
I really hope my like connection is still exactly what it is now, and I feel close to it. And I feel like working in this office also showed me anywhere I am, prep will like be there to reach out. Like even with all the RV tours, like I feel like that made me feel like really anywhere I am, I feel like I could find alumni and like a connection or a little event. So I definitely hope I'm like still involved and still have my friends. And I feel like being so close to my high school friends, like that'll make my connection in 20 years still like so connected with the school, because I'm connected with all of them. So I definitely hope I'm connected no matter where I am. And then as far as a legacy, I just hope the kids like that come to prep just remember like how special it is when they're in the moment, because I feel like we like just think everything's perfect and amazing. At least that's what I thought, and every day was just perfect, but like you don't realize it, like how fast it goes and how awesome it really was till you're gone. So definitely that.
Yep. No, I think that's a great message, is that kids continue to have similar experiences like you and I had. That makes those bonds so special. But they also appreciate it while they're in it.
Stop and look around. Like even saying like the last month of senior year was so fast. Like, oh my gosh, I wish I could just slow that down for every kid and like just look around.
A lot of people will ask me, you know, when I'm having, you know, conversations and whatnot, what was like my favorite memories of my time at prep. And I never point to, I remember the first time somebody asked me that, it kind of stumped me. Because I was like, you know, it really wasn't like a certain event or just like one day. Sure, there were certain days that I remember more than others, but honestly, like my favorite memories are just the day-to-day camaraderie, just being in the halls and the classes.
Exactly. That's like I said, my favorite memory was just how fun it was. Like that's not, that was every day. Like it was just so fun.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like, then there's something to say about that, right?
Yeah,
about what it means to be a Rambler, be a Victor, to have those experiences. Not many people can look back at high school and feel like they just appreciated the everydayness of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But there's a very unique and special bond there that we get to be able to cherish for the rest of our lives. Yeah.
No, definitely.
Yeah. Well, this has been a lot of fun to have this conversation with you and share it with our listeners.
Yes.
Really appreciate you being our intern this summer.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me. And thanks for having me on the podcast, too.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully your experience, now you're just entering your junior year, so hopefully your experience is good enough you want to be back next summer.
Yes.
That'll be the tell. And if it actually was just words,
stay tuned.
Here. Stay tuned. Maybe there'll be a part 2 for the podcast. But no, you've done great work this summer, Abby. We've been thrilled to have you. And again, I'll say it, you know, please reach out to us if you need anything during your junior year. But yeah, no, thanks a lot for coming on as a guest and really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.